Yeah, it's, oh, yes, better. That's perfect. But
Maybe I should scoot back a little. Is that better?
yeah, well, you could get behind so we can make sure we can see your face. So
Okay. I'll put it up a little bit. Yeah, Julia, I can hear you.
just up a little. We're
Hold
cutting
on.
up ahead.
Is that okay?
Oh,
Yes,
perfect.
perfect.
Perfect. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
Carolyn too.
Okay. All right. Okay, thank you, Mark. Julio, hello, I see you. So today I'm going to move a little faster is my goal. Julio, we'll finish about 12:15, 12:30 is my plan. 12:15, 12:30. But Julio, you're welcome to leave at any time and anyone on Zoom. Hi, Carolyn. Okay, all right. So you guys mute yourself because I'm not sure how to mute you. Okay, all right, let's start. Okay, so Karen, Tony, we'll see if Daisy. Oh yeah, recipe, yeah. Okay, so let's get the recipe.
Do the people at home have one that you email to me?
They do, yeah, they have it attached on their document for the email. So, okay, this is the plan today. I thought about this a little better this time. We're gonna start with the lemon bars. I'm gonna show you how, hi Diane. I'm gonna show you how to make the crust. And then we'll do the filling. And then we'll do the almond milk. Okay, I threw that one in there. I think that'll be fun to learn because it's so easy to do.
Okay.
And then we'll make the pasta main dish. And that shouldn't take too long. So, and I have everything already prepared. So if we're cutting close to time, I have some.
All organized.
Yeah, I'm organized. I'm getting better little by little, maybe. Okay, so if you guys want to flip to the back for the lemon bars, we're going to start with the crust. Okay, so I have the Vitamix. Let's plug it in. Now, with our crust, we're going to use almonds, raw almonds.
Okay.
But I'm doing it a little bit backwards for the sake of the blender. But what I would do if I was at home, I would make my almond milk first. And from the almond milk, you're going to get the milk of it, right? Which will just be some almonds and water.
Okay.
And then after you put through the nut bag, we'll get all the liquid out. And then whatever's left over from the almond milk is called the almond pulp.
Okay.
Some people just throw it away, but why waste, right? So that at that point, I want to show you guys later how we can use that almond pulp for this crust dish. But because I want to make sure this blender doesn't get moisture in it, we're just going to do it a little bit backwards.
Okay.
So hopefully you guys don't get lost with that. But if you're not making almond milk, this is what you would do for the crust, okay? Now, we're using a lot of almonds. Couple benefits about almonds. They're very good for heart health. Just
for what?
heart health.
Oh, heart.
Heart, yes. So they're atherogenic. So what that means, atherogenic.
Atherogenic.
Yeah, so good for those blood vessels, good for preventing that plaque buildup. They help decrease the triglycerides and that unhealthy cholesterol, like the LDL.
They dissolve plaque?
They help prevent it from building up. Yeah. And just 10 grams a day has been shown to help with all of that.
Okay.
10 grams, which is about 9 to 10 almonds. So not much, really, just a little handful.
I eat them frequently.
Good.
I have some in my purse now.
Yeah, you go right now. So yeah, great snack, great to add to meals. You can put them, you can saute them and roast them in your vegetable dishes, whether it be green beans, that makes a really nice pair. You can put them in your salads, or you can use silvered almonds. Even if you make a dessert and you want to decorate the outside, you can throw them on there for the frosting to stick. Or you can make almond milk, okay? So also they're a really good source of vitamin E, which helps reduce inflammation. And all of our nuts and our beans are really good for good sources of magnesium and calcium, which is important for bone health, and also for we learned about magnesium and how it helps relax those blood vessels too. So, all right.
Source of fiber too. Right?
Yes, an excellent source of fiber, healthy fat, and protein.
Exactly.
So all of the foods we have today have lots of fiber because it's all plant-based, and that's key for everything, right? The one nutrient we should count, fiber, fiber, fiber. So
I'm taking that full plate diet class,
yes,
and they stress fiber.
yes.
They say
Now, what class is it?
full plate diet.
Full plate. I don't know that.
It's at the Jason Center.
Yeah, it looks excellent. Karen, if they do another, and anyone that's near Loma Linda, so Tony was just talking about this full plate, right, program. It's at the Drayson Center here at Loma Linda.
They actually have
And-
a lecture tonight at 5.
They have weekly, right? Weekly lectures,
Two lectures per week.
2 lectures per
Usually
week,
Thursday at 5 from 5 to 7.
and then they do cooking classes as well.
I don't know. I've only gone to one lecture.
I think they show you how to menu plan. It's all plant-based. It's for 1 month, right?
Yes.
1 month, $99, something like
Yeah,
that. It sounds like a really good program if anyone's interested.
You're super bright, yourself.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
But if you want a little bit more outside of
yeah.
this.
She's enthusiastic. I like
She
her.
loves what she does.
Yeah,
And that
she
makes
does.
all the difference.
You bet.
All right, so I just added the almonds, a cup of almonds, a cup of oatmeal,
Okay.
and I did, let's see. We're gonna do some sea salt and maple syrup. But first, we're just gonna do all the dry ingredients. So let me put a little bit of sea salt. I don't have coconut sugar, so we'll add a little bit more maple syrup
Okay.
at
So
the
there's
end.
almonds and oats in there?
Almond and oats, yeah, yeah. So, and it's really neat because these almonds blend up so well into a fine almond meal mesh, or almond flour, really. So it's gonna make a really nice crust.
On the crust. She just put the oats and the almonds in.
Okay. So, salt's always optional, right? Yes, just put a little bit, but you don't have to, right? We're gonna use so many other ingredients, especially in our main dish when we use all the herbs and spices.
Mhm.
Salt's just a little extra, but it's not our main flavor enhancer. Okay, let me put this on. People on Zoom, you might want to turn off the volume for the blender. Okay, so let's see. Let's put this down.
Is there any liquid in there?
This is all dry ingredients. Isn't that amazing?
You're beautiful.
So let me just get the bottom off. Hold on. Okay, so I'm just gonna mix it up. I'm not even gonna put a spatula or anything in there. If you guys can see, it's a nice almond meal. I didn't put any liquid, so it turned out really nice. I'm gonna keep blending it so it gets even finer.
Okay.
But this is super easy, right?
So far, so good.
No liquid, I know. Didn't even get stuck or anything. So let's go a little bit more. good enough. I see the dust starting to float up, so, yeah. I'm gonna, if you use the pulp from the almonds after the almond milk, you'll see that even gets even finer, a lot faster. Oh, look at it.
Is that heat or is that?
Heat. I think it's,
The low levels, yeah, it can make its own soup.
it smells really good. Can you guys smell it with your mask on? You can't, I want
Smell a little.
Little.
a little bit. I think I got the heat of it. So you guys can see it just crumbled up real nice here into a good almond meal. So you can buy almond meal or almond flour at the grocery store, but it's so much cheaper to make your own. So, okay, so I'm gonna add this to a bowl. Okay, and then we're gonna add our maple syrup and our coconut oil, so our wet ingredients.
Okay.
And just make a dough here. Okay, let me get the rubber spatula. So really just a couple ingredients for this crust. And our oats are a fabulous nutrient or source of protein. Protein as well as fiber, especially that soluble fiber, which helps specifically absorb some of that bad cholesterol. So it actually absorbs it and takes it out from your body. Okay. Maybe a different rubber spatula. So maybe use a little tiny one. You know, I think, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe when I showed you guys the first time, I should have just taken it out from there.
Okay.
Because what I'm noticing is the bottom
It's hard.
is turned into almond butter. So if you kept going, you'll whip it up into almond butter. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's stuck. Yeah, when I first did it, over the weekend, I used the pulp, the almond pulp, and it seemed like it blended nicer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but maybe.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard. All right, thanks for being patient.
Oh, we're learning as you go.
Don't go longer than 30 seconds. Oh, unless you want to make that almond butter. Wow, this is great. But I think if I were to make almond butter, I would put it in the food processor
Yes.
because it's easier to scoop out, like we did last time we made the peanut butter.
Okay, yes.
You can make almond butter in a Vitamix. It's just, as you can tell, it's kind of hard to get out of the bottom. So, but that's fine. We're gonna have a little bit almond butter in our crust.
That's all
That's still a good mix. Okay,
right.
here we
Because
go.
it calls for coconut oil, so now you've got some.
Yeah, we got a little bit.
Yeah,
Here we go.
you got it.
All right. Okay. Great. Okay, so coconut oil. If you get the extra virgin coconut oil, it will solidify
Yes.
when it's cold.
Mhm.
So this morning my coconut oil was hard, so I did put it in the microwave so that it's liquid.
Okay.
But if you get a more refined or processed coconut oil, it probably will be liquid. So just notice that sometimes the coconut oil depends, or it might change what you need to do to it before using it to cook.
Okay. Right.
So this one is liquid now. So let's go ahead. This is 4 to 5 teaspoons already. And you're just gonna put enough to basically.
Tablespoons, baby.
Yes, thank you, tablespoon. You're just gonna put enough to make sure it turns into like a soft dough. So if you squeeze it between your fingers, it shouldn't crumble. That's kind of the texture we're
Okay,
looking
to hold
for.
it
To hold together, exactly, because we're gonna press it into the dish.
in. Right.
So let me get a fork. So we got maple syrup, coconut oil, apple beer crust. How many tablespoons or teaspoons of maple syrup?
tablespoon.
Okay. Great. Always use that rubber spatula when you can to get the most out of it.
Yep.
Great. That's that. And then over. And then get this going. Okay. I'm just using a fork. When you're at home, you can use your hands and mix however you want, or just use that fork, or even a whisk, but it'll probably get caught. Fork's perfect. Okay. So I got nice crumbs right here. So when I add that maple syrup, it's gonna help stick it all together. I don't know if you guys can't see it too well. I'll bring it over in a second. So we're gonna do one. We'll do a little bit more because I didn't do the coconut sugar. So 1 tablespoon, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys see? Okay. All right. If you don't have maple syrup, you can use honey. It's also a great substitute. Sweetness, sticky, very similar. If you don't have honey or maple syrup, you could probably even use a little bit, like if you have pineapple juice or some type of fruit juice,
Okay.
because it's a little bit of liquid and it's sweet. Just thinking of some other ideas you might have in your house, right? There's always alternatives. It's a lot to go to the grocery store and get everything just for a little bit. So as when you start thinking of textures and flavor, and if you have other options in your house, you can always substitute. And a lot of these recipes that you see online, if you go to the very bottom, sometimes they'll give you other ideas for alternatives, or when they start making comments at the bottom, people will share what they've done as a substitute. So keep scrolling to the bottom if you like to look up recipes online. Okay. So I'll show you just like a dough, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Similar to I'm using a graham cracker crust.
Yeah, like a graham cracker crust, exactly. So nice and got some clumps here that are sticking together. So this is, I could probably add a little bit more coconut oil, but for the sake of time, I already prepared a crust. So I'm just gonna pretend like I dumped it on there and pressed it in, and then we put it in the oven and everything. Okay. So when you go home and you do it, just know from here, you're gonna literally just press it down into the pan.
Into the dish, okay.
Into the dish, I put parchment paper at the bottom,
Okay.
so it doesn't stick.
Uh-huh.
I'm just gonna shade this part. So you're gonna pour it in. And one thing I want to note, I don't know if it makes much of a difference, but remember these are lemon bars and not a lemon cake. So I'm going to make an even layer of the crust, and I'm not going to fold it up onto the side, but you probably could. I was just thinking maybe if I put it up on the side when I cut into it, it might crumble more. I don't know how well it pulled up. It probably pulled up better if you just make an even flat layer.
Okay, that makes sense.
So just an idea, but you can certainly do whatever you like. Okay. So anyway, I'm gonna put this back. Okay. That will be lid. Let's go ahead and do the filling now. So for the cashews you can either soak overnight, or if it's last minute and you forgot and you really need to make this recipe right now, you can boil them in the water for about, I think it's like 10 minutes. They're gonna be more creamy and juicy or hydrating if you soak them overnight. They're really gonna absorb more of that water and it'll soften it better. But this recipe specifically calls to boil some hot water about an hour before, soak it in that hot water, and then use it. So
They don't swell as much as if you leave it
overnight.
Okay.
Yeah, if you do it overnight, I feel it makes it the most creamiest. It swells more. Pull that out. Okay. Let me just dump them out. Rockland, Graham, we don't want Rockland or cashew dip, do we?
No.
Okay, get that out. Okay. You guys can see. Honey, do you ever soak your cashews? No. Keep it simple. They're all right, they sweat a little bit, not too much. If you do it overnight, they will get huge.
Oh, this well?
Oh, yeah. So when you soak them in the water, especially in warm water, they'll start to swell a little bit more. And they'll get even, a lot bigger than this. So if you soak them overnight, you want to make sure you put plenty of water on top.
Oh,
Because
absorb it.
It can
Okay.
absorb more. Exactly. Okay. So let's see. This is on the right side of the page, the filling. So once the cashews are soaked and drained,
Mhm.
let's add to our blender. All right, what else are we gonna
With the coconut cream, arrowroot starch.
add? Okay, yes, I got that. Let me bring out.
Yeah, the coconut cream and arrowroot starch.
Okay, so if you don't have arrowroot starch, you can use cornstarch.
Okay.
So this is arrowroot starch. I happened to get this for the last recipe,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
which, what did we do? What did I use it for last recipe? Oh, we used it for the tofu. We, excuse me, we breaded the tofu. And we use the arrowroot starch because the starch helps make things crispy.
Mhm.
But, hi, Ron. How did it come in?
Mhm.
Hi, Ron.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, get in the chair. All right, see ya. Okay. So, but what I found out with the arrowroot starch is it made our marinade turn into gel,
Yeah.
which I did not like. So be careful what you use it for. Any type of starch does tend to gel. If you guys have ever made shredded some potatoes for hash browns
Mhm.
and you put them in cold water, that leftover starch in the water, it starts to get thick,
Okay. Yeah.
which could be used for certain recipes in a good way, but you just want to make sure you're using it for the right thing.
Okay.
Cornstarch does gel, but it seems to have more of a meal feel to it, more
Mhm.
grainier.
Right.
So maybe it doesn't thicken as much as this arrowroot starch. But this is perfect because we want it to hold, we want it to gelatinize because this is going to be our cheese, our creamy filler for the lemon bars. I'm gonna put this in. Okay, what else? I have a cup of lemon juice. Oh wait, all at once. Yeah, lemon juice, sea salt, maple syrup. Okay. I already measured out the lemon juice. Okay, and how much maple syrup?
A fourth of a cup,
Fourth of a cup.
plus more to taste.
Yes. And I already tried this recipe and I felt that it needed more maple syrup. So when I did fourth of a cup, the first time I made this recipe, it tasted really sweet after trying it in here.
Mhm.
But after I baked it, it wasn't so sweet anymore. So
Okay.
I think we will double it.
Mhm.
Maybe you want to double it, but we're gonna find out. I think it will be good. The sweeter the better, right? No.
That all depends on what it is. Yes.
All to your preference. Okay. We'll do just barely another half a cup. Okay. So the original recipe calls for the lemon zest inside the blender, but I talked about with Karen, and I think it's gonna be better if we mix that lemon zest in the end.
We'll
And
get
not
more
blend it.
flavor from it.
More flavor, more, maybe specks of lemon,
Okay.
and then maybe it won't be bitter. Maybe you'll taste it better. So we'll keep that there. Okay. Anything else? A little sea salt,
Mhm.
coconut cream. Okay. Let's see how much sea salt. Just a pinch.
Is coconut cream hard to find? I'm not
Coconut
familiar.
cream is hard to find.
Okay.
So coconut cream, good question. Coconut cream is different than coconut milk,
Mhm.
so make sure you don't buy the wrong one. If you have coconut milk though, and you flip it upside down,
Okay.
and then you flip it back over when you're ready to open the lid,
Mhm.
that top part
Mhm.
will be the cream part.
It'll stick?
It will stay, it's just you don't get a lot.
Okay.
Hi Glenn, come right in.
Not good.
Good to have you.
My,
You made it a good time.
yeah, my blood sugar is really high,
Oh no. Oh,
so
I don't want you to eat this meal then.
I'm here to find
Take
out.
it easy, yeah. Okay. All right, so what we're doing, we're making lemon bars right now. We're working backward. We're gonna do our dessert, and then we'll make our main dish at the end. Let me, yeah. Thank you.
I didn't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, here's the recipe.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Come.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Tony, Karen, and Lynn.
Yes,
All
yes.
right, you guys are in different rehab groups, so that you know each other.
Okay,
All right?
I'm Glenn,
I'm
Yeah.
Karen.
And I'm Tony.
I'm a cardiologist.
And then, Glenn, so you know, I have some people on Zoom as well.
Okay.
So we do a little bit of both.
Okay, Zoomers.
Okay. So that I don't forget what's going on in here.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. So we just added the sea salt and the coconut cream.
Yes.
So it is different than coconut milk.
Mhm.
Let me show you the one I got. I got this at Sprouts.
Okay.
I could not find it at, I think some Stater Brothers have it, but one of the ones I went to did not. I saw that they had it online.
Oh,
I went to
yeah.
Instacart and then I didn't see it when I was actually in the store. So keep an eye out for it. But it's not, like Trader Joe's does not have coconut cream. They only have coconut milk.
Okay.
But so I'm using a full cup. That's a lot of coconut cream. But in coconut milk,
Mhm.
a part of it does float to the bottom. So when you flip it over and take the lid off, you can scoop it off the top.
Okay.
But that's only going to give you a couple tablespoons worth.
Oh, we need more. Yeah.
This recipe we need more, so we need full coconut cream.
So the Titanic floated under the iceberg?
Pretty much, this is the Titanic right here.
Yeah, I see that.
Or the iceberg. This is the iceberg. So actually, similarly here, the coconut cream, again, is more towards the top. So, right, real chunky. Sorry, I should have showed you guys better. It's chunky. It's very thick. It's not milky. It's very thick. But the rest of it is more of a mix of a little bit of liquid left over and a little bit of cream. So the rest that I'm going to pour is a heavier, it's not pure coconut cream, but it's more coconut.
Juice?
No, not juice. It's just like a heavier coconut milk, I guess. Let me show you guys. On my spatula, you can see the cream. The
Yeah.
cream is thicker,
Uh-huh.
but right in here,
But even with whipped cream, it's
That's
still a
true.
liquid until you. whip it
You're
up.
right. You're right. Even whipped cream is more liquidier. So you guys can see I have the chunks,
Yes. That's what I see.
but there's a little bit of liquid in there, but that's okay because it's still mostly cream.
Mhm.
So we're gonna add just a cup. I put probably a third of a cup already in. Let's see.
So if we whip that, would it be enough whipped cream?
Good question. Yeah, this is how you can make coconut whipped cream as well. You can use this coconut cream and add some sugar to it towards the end, start whipping it and then put a little bit of sugar in it with a little vanilla extract. That's key. And you'll make some coconut whipped cream. they actually at Sprouts, they already have a can that has sugar in it. So you literally just need to blend it and that'll whip into coconut
Wow.
whipped cream.
Is that a lot of sugar?
I did not look. Probably. So, but yeah, this one is just coconut, water, and gargum. It's hard to find them without the gargum. I will say that. I try to stay away from gums and fillers, but it is really important to make it stay thick, is what I've learned. So we do have some of that in here. Okay. So put about a cup of that in there. We have our liquids with our soaked cashews. So now we're gonna make a creamy filling. All right. Anything else I missed in here? All right. We can always add it later. All right. Let's see how well this creams up. Let me get the whole thingy. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I do want to emphasize it's important to let it go for a long time because even though you let it go for 30 seconds and it looks mixed, the cashews really need to break down and get as creamy as possible. So you don't want any gritty cashew pieces in there. You want it to be completely smoothed out. And that's going to change the whole mouthfeel when you bite into that lemon bar. So keep going. This looks real creamy. So I'm going to pour this into my pre-baked. I'll show you what this came out to look like. So this crust I use is from the almond pulp of almond milk already made. And instead of putting it in the blender, I put the almond pulp in the blender and turned it into a fine, dusty almond flour. But instead of putting the oats in the blender too, I just tossed them.
Okay.
So this is more like granola in a way, really. This actually would be a great granola. But I used it and I pressed it down into a crust. So this has everything else, all the ingredients though.
Did you roll it or did you?
I pressed it
You
down.
pressed it.
You could take a glass, and if you put another piece of parchment paper on top of it and take some glass and you can press it down or roll it like that if you want to firmly get it in and mold it into there, or you could just press your hands into it. Either way, whatever is easier for you. Yeah.
So
No, good question. Keep asking. So I'm gonna pour this in here. Let me get my rubber spatula. Okay. Okay.
yeah, this mixers, because when my mom used to make desserts, she used to give us a little bellow so we could put the icing or whatever.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, that is good, huh? That's the best part, especially after you make whipped cream or whatever it is.
So this big
Licking
man
the
smiled
spoon.
like he remembered those days. Huh?
Yeah,
Or the beaters, we used to.
Yeah.
Beaters with the go.
The beaters.
yes. Yes. That's the best way to get kids involved into cooking and what you're doing is let them
Adults
taste
too.
it. I know, right? Anyone. I'm sure everyone wants to be around the kitchen. I forgot to put the lemon zest, but we're gonna put it on top. Oh gosh.
You dropped some.
Oh, I did. Oh, okay.
Just
I don't wanna. Maybe I'll just throw the napkin on the ground. So I have learned that when you do your lemon zest, the zester that you have makes a big difference. I have a little one that did not work so well, and it literally took me forever. And then I used this big one, and I don't know, maybe my little one is just dull, or maybe it's just too little. You know the little mini ones? They're like two by 2 inches.
Get the little bar, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Handle, Dollar Tree.
Yeah, maybe that's the one I had. It didn't work too well.
Okay.
This one worked great though. This
Oh, okay.
it is just, it ripped up my lemon very well. So, there are so many benefits in lemon. So making sure it's easy to do so you can have the lemon zest or the lemon rind. But oftentimes when we get sick or whether it's a respiratory thing like COVID or bronchitis, a lot of people say, oh, have the lemon rind and some honey and some tea, or actually eat the lemon rind. Because in the lemon rind, there's something called limonene, which is very important for, it can be an anti-stress reliever. It can, or stress reliever, it can help with also microbial, but helps fight viruses. And it can also, I'm trying to remember all the benefits. It's very potent in the lycopene, which, oh, there's something else really neat that I read. People that have advanced cancer, what they found is the lycopene, it will build on top of the tumor and slow down the growth of that tumor. That was really interesting line about the lycopene. That's found in the lemon rind. So it's not found in the juice, it's found in the lemon rind. So anytime you want to zest and put that lemon zest into something, you're gonna get that benefit. Or you could eat the lemon rind. It's okay, it's safe to eat. Just make sure you wash the lemon rind really well. And Zoom people, I have a veggie wash that I need to send back out in Zoom. And then for you guys, I'm gonna print it out. But really all it is, it's 1 cup of water for 2 parts, or it's how do you say it? 1 cup of vinegar for 2 cups of water. And you can just let things soak in there. And you can even use, I have this rag.
Oh, yes.
So you guys are welcome to touch it. It's by Norwex. It's Norwex? Where's the, yeah. So Norwex is great because they have window cloths, they have counter cloths, and it helps with the microbial germs on the counters. And I need to get more well versed. I can't remember the details of it. I bet some people on Zoom would know. But have you guys seen the Norwex cloths before? Let me hold it up this way. Yes, Diane has. Mark Alexander, Caroline, Julio. So these cloths are great. Maybe Diane remembers the benefits of it or how it works. But basically, whatever they use for the material, I think it helps bind the bacteria and break it down so that basically you don't even need to use soap and other things like that. It's an anti-germ, antivirus cloth machine is how I look at it. And what's nice about this one is there's this thick scrub, if you guys want to feel it, on the bottom. And so I will use this to wash the produce. You want to feel it, Glenn?
But it gets saturated.
Oh, yeah.
It really doesn't absorb. It's such an interesting material.
It's like one of them copper scrubbers.
Yeah, I think it does have some type of like iron or metal in it that helps bind it. So this is great. They have a lot of different types of cloths. Norwex. It's becoming more popular, but it really is a great product. Let me wash my hands.
Okay, they have a lot of products.
They do.
Yes.
Yeah, you have a lot of
Norwex?
products.
You know, our, government.
Are these items listed in this,
They are. You're gonna have to write those ones
I
down.
didn't bring a pen.
Do a pen? Okay.
I got a whole machine over there too.
Let me get you a thing, but I'm gonna turn on the salt water. Okay. Let me get you a pen and
Actually,
then,
I could just take pictures of it.
oh, you
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let me sprinkle on that zest and then we'll start our main entree dish, okay? I will show you guys how to do the almond milk at the end for the sake of time. So we can get on with the main entree. But the almond milk is so easy, so I do want to show you guys. Maybe we'll do that while some things are sauteing. Oh, here we go. Okay. So this is kind of nice actually. I just sprinkled the lemon zest on top and it's real pretty.
Okay.
But I'm gonna mix it a little bit and maybe I will leave a little bit on top. That might be a nice change or touch to the dish. I like seeing the specks of the lemons in there. Visually more appealing. Okay. All right, so I just mixed that in there. And put this over here. I'm gonna sprinkle. You can jiggle it around, make sure it goes all flat, even. And I'm just going to sprinkle this on top. And I'll show you guys. This kind of tells you that there's lemons in here, right? When you visually see the lemon chunks. It's a nice visual to see all that.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll bake this eventually, right? So we put this in the, I can't tilt it or else it might liquefy over. Can you see it? Not really? Kind of hard, okay. Let's see, right in the camera. Anyways, we put this in the oven and then after you take it out, you'll cool it. And then you'll put it in the refrigerator to let it set for 4 hours. And so kind of like cheesecake, right? You cook it, you bake it, and then you let it set in the refrigerator. Or even you can put these in the freezer. They store very well. And then pull them out for 30 minutes to defrost. And they taste just as good.
So you have to bake cheesecake?
Yeah, you do have to bake
You
cheesecake.
you told me that.
Yeah, don't just have a liquid cheesecake by itself. Okay. All right, I'm gonna rinse this off and then we're gonna use the blender to make our pesto creamy dish for the pasta. I got the water boiling or starting to boil in the back. We'll saute our onions and our bell peppers
Okay.
while we're doing the pasta sauce. All right, it's getting close to 12 already. Oh my goodness, I said it was gonna be faster. I think we're gonna do a little bit better. We will. Okay. Rinse this off. So I got some vinegar at Sprouts last minute. I was like, oh, yeah, it's $3.99. I probably should have easily gone to the 99-cent store and get the big container.
Dollar food.
Yeah,
$1.
I know.
Nothing's $1.
I was like, I don't want to pay for this. But for the sake of time, and thank goodness, because oh my goodness, the parking is horrible. They got it this morning. Now, real quick side note. I'll show you guys the ice cream real quick. So because the lemon bars that I already made and set and everything, they weren't too sweet. So this morning I thought, oh, let's try some ice cream with it, right? Something sweet to add onto it and cover it up. So if it doesn't come out like you want, you can always add a little something else to it. We'll see how these taste, but I wanted to show you guys the 2 ice creams I got.
I've seen the old mine.
The Oh My is top 10 ranker for plant-based ice cream. So like that, get just
So
one.
from Sprouts,
This,
right?
yeah, from
Milk,
Sprouts.
that's how they do.
Yeah, these are both. Well, let's see. This one is.
Plant-based?
Yeah, these are both plant-based. There's a glare in the camera. Sorry. Sorry. There we go. Oh My is the ice cream, and this one is coconut milk. All right, and just a few other ingredients, coconut cream, cane sugar, vanilla extract, vanilla bean, and some gums. Very simple.
Where do you find it?
Sprouts. I got both of these at Sprouts. And there is 21 grams of sugar. So still, still a significant amount of sugar. Don't eat the whole thing and go, oh, it's healthy. It still has sugar in it. But like I said, our lemon bars weren't too sweet. So this will be a great cover up.
Okay,
Okay, this other one does have a,
that's a gelato.
this one's gelato. There was another one I wanted to get. What was it? It had less sugar. They used monk fruit and stevia. I can't remember. I have a picture of it on my phone. But anytime they use stevia in the ingredients, it'd be better because then that's the natural sweetener and you're not going to see such a spike on your blood sugars. But this one is also high in sugar, but really high in fiber. So that's why I wanted to get this one, because even though you're having sugar, it's important you have fiber so that the sugar doesn't absorb into your blood too quick. So this one's called Doozy Pots. The main ingredients they use is oat and hemp milk. They use
What milk?
hemp.
Hemp?
Hemp. And then they use actually hemp. Very creamy. And then they use actual fiber and dates and bananas to help sweeten it as well. So a lot of the sugars in here are more natural.
So that's a healthier version.
Yeah, this still has some cane sugar, but they do add a little bit of the sweetener from the dates and bananas. Yeah, this is from Sprouts as well.
You have a spoon?
You can't have the whole time yet. We will try it. But this one had really good ratings. It seems to be liked overall. Maybe you guys have tried it before on
I
Zoom
don't know if
or.
I've had that one, because I do love ice cream, so I do try different ones.
Now they're kind of pricey.
Yeah.
This one was $6.99,
So
so.
that one, you could get Sprouts brand
Yeah, you can get Sprouts
for
brand.
$8.99.
I did, they have that, because they use coconut milk too. There's definitely other brands.
But that one is probably healthier, because
Yeah,
I
I
get
very
gas with
few.
Sprouts brand that I won't if I
Ah,
stick more to a stricter plant-based.
yeah.
Some people say don't use too much coconut oils because
Yeah.
it's saturated
Mhm.
fat, and that is not good for your health. Is that true?
Yeah, so coconut oil, coconut
Mhm.
milk, coconut cream, definitely is high in that, go ahead. It's definitely high in that saturated, fat, the type of fat that we don't really want. And it's kind of a controversial topic because very smart people on both sides say saturated fat, that will increase your triglycerides, your not healthy cholesterol. Limit it just like you should with butter and other dairy products. Because those are the other ones that have high in saturated fat as well as red meat. But then other people say, well, the saturated fat that's found in this plant food versus the one found in the dairy and the meat is different. It kind of think of like a car, parking. The saturated fat in coconut milk is able to fit in those parking slots easier and more efficiently than the other types of saturated fats would. So your body is able to utilize it better.
Okay.
You're welcome. And that's why there's the fight saying, well, it's not as bad as other saturated fat.
Okay.
I think since there's good arguments on both sides, we should still do it in moderation. But I do everything in moderation, right? Don't go ahead. Don't have a huge tub of broccoli. Your stomach won't feel good. So everything in moderation, even those health foods. But I don't think you need to worry so much about the saturated fat in coconut products as you do with the dairies. Okay, here's the water boiling. Okay. So let me switch it off. Okay. So any questions on the dessert we just did?
So I noticed that the calories are really high So,
because of the cashews having a lot of fat in it. Anytime there's fat, that's going to really contribute more to calories than does protein or carbohydrates. And so kind of like going back to our food labeling class, the number one thing we should look at first when we're looking at a package is looking at the ingredients. Is this food that we're eating, is it wholesome? Is it made out of real foods? And then we could look at the numbers to maybe differentiate between two products, but the numbers don't tell us a whole lot or compared to the ingredients. So if Tony here, you have 2,000 calories a day, you're eating 2,000 calories, and Karen, you're eating 2,000 calories. But Karen, you're eating soda and donuts and all those foods. And then, well, actually, how about Karen, you're only eating 1,000 calories, okay?
Okay.
We'll even do less, just to kind of show this point plan. So if Karen's eating less calories, but it's all donuts and processed food, and then Tony here is eating more calories, like 2,000, but it's all plant-based foods and just wholesome foods right from the ground up, his body's gonna metabolize all those nutrients better and more efficiently and use for energy and use for his whole body, the process, than compared to Karen's body. Yeah, it's less calories, but her body's still thinking, what am I gonna do with these 1,000 calories of all these processed foods? So it is very different. Our culture emphasizes calories a lot, but really we need to emphasize quality. Quality. So what is in the food? What's the ingredients in the food?
so with the natural, our body processes it faster, so it comes from the ground and goes back to the ground.
Yeah, it eliminates it better. When you're eating foods that your body can't metabolize, doesn't recognize, and know how to use it, it'll store it away into fat. And that's your body's way of protecting you. It's kind of like, oh, that's a toxin, let me hide it away. So, versus if you're to, I mean, and that's a lot of different, even like artificial sweeteners, they're just not processed, so they don't have sugar. Artificial sweeteners don't add calories, but your body doesn't like it.
Yes, I can say the older that we are now, will our bodies recognize
Oh, will they start recognizing it over time?
enough to the difference, yeah, that,
I think unfortunately, maybe
they're
adaptation
acclimated.
beyond like hundreds of years, I don't know. I think it does more harm in that your body starts responding to autoimmune disorders or cancer start developing and other problems that shows our body is not acclimating to it. That's kind of where it looks like it's manifesting towards.
because of all the processed stuff we've been eating for years.
I know.
And
Yeah.
to organic.
Yeah, organic can be important to knock out all those pesticides and those GMO foods, but you can have organic donuts, and that doesn't necessarily make it healthy. So trying to use whole foods. Be careful of the terminology.
Right.
If it says natural, just because it's natural bacon, it doesn't mean. What does that mean? That's kind of the dilemma. What do these labels mean? So really, just getting away from looking at the labels, looking at the numbers, go straight to the ingredients and see for yourself. Do I recognize these ingredients? Is it something I have in my kitchen? If you don't recognize it, then
Don't eat it.
it probably won't, do too well for you. Okay, so I'm gonna get this going. So I just diced up some onions and bell peppers. The bell peppers are a great source of beta carotene, which acts as one of our antioxidants. And it's also a great source of vitamin C, right? We always take, excuse me, we always take vitamin C in a supplement form, but it's so easy to get enough of plenty from your vegetables. Broccoli, now we're gonna add our lemons that we have, our bell peppers are all great sources of vitamin C. Super easy to get from our foods. And I do want to point out, supplements can be helpful to make up for some of the depletion in the soil that we have. For example, magnesium. It's required in every part of our body. But even a lot of the foods that have magnesium, they don't have as much because the soil is depleted. So that's something that you might consider supplementing with. But things like vitamin C, be careful not to over supplement. And that's of anything. Don't over supplement because the opposite effect can happen. So I can't remember. A lot of our vitamins, it's hard to have a toxic amount from your foods, but it's easy to do when you're taking a supplement form. So people that take, I can't remember what the toxic limit is, but people that overtake the amount of vitamin C, it can suppress your immune system, contribute to cancer, and do all the things it was supposed to help us with.
Let's
So-
get it from food.
It's best to get it from food. Exactly. But you can get it from supplements that kind of help, right, to supplement what you're maybe not getting from food or maybe some of the depletion. But overall, just be careful though on how much you take. During this COVID pandemic, there has been people that have overdone it on the supplements and they've had to come get a liver transplant, right?
Oh, my
So it kind of goes back to, I'm going to say all the time, moderation. Too much of anything can do harm.
That's
So be careful.
Because I just came from, the guy go to Toboggan there with the capsules and the way they make, they were,
Yeah, to put it in.
yeah, for our body to digest it. And
Mm-hmm.
I noticed, like today, the first time I saw it, and so I have a concern about it.
The capsule, the supplement.
Yeah, the way, well, not just the capsule, but the way they make them in pill form too.
Oh.
Because I think like B12 complex.
The
and-
combination.
Well, I take three vitamin D,
Okay.
but something's happened because remember I told you I eat bowls of fruit,
Yeah.
so my blood sugar is kind of like climbing, and I figure out what it is.
Interesting. Well, yeah, and sometimes I'm just gonna add all the ingredients that are listed on the sauce into the bowl. All go in here.
Those are peanuts and cashews and
Yeah, peanuts, cashews, garlic, lemons,
unsalted.
basil, unsalted roasted. Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you can roast them yourself, it's always better. You get them from the grocery store, that's okay. And just make sure they don't add cornstarch or rice starch or something else to it, because that will add more carbs and that's more effect on your blood sugars. So, and just, it's more additives that we don't necessarily need. So try to get everything as simple as possible.
Because the store used to roast the nuts. And when they used to sell them, you get in a little bag full of roasted nuts.
Oh, yeah.
You put them chopping or whatever.
I don't remember that. That sounds awesome though.
Yeah. Wait, what is the green stuff you put in there?
So the green is basil, right?
Okay.
Basil's one of the key ingredients for making any type of pesto.
Okay.
Basil is in the mint family. And something I want to point out with any fresh herb. Let me, oh, hold on. I want to make sure I stop saying this while I'm gonna burn it. Burn it slow.
And then bell peppers, you could use red and green, or does it?
Yeah, the red ones are a little bit sweeter. Red and yellow are sweet. Green is not as sweet, but still beautiful for color. It
So
still has a lot of ingredients.
so we can blend all 3 bell peppers?
Yeah, you could. If you want to add, you get rid of the bash, you can put it, yeah, you can really put any vegetables you want into this pasta dish. It's a vegetable pasta dish, so if you need to get rid of some vegetables, toss them in there. You have some eggplant, toss it in there, zucchini. You can toss whatever you like into this. Especially with the sauce, it's gonna bring it all together.
When you do the eggplant, do you cut it up into little chunks, or do you fry it first or anything, or?
You can do either way.
I looked at one yesterday. It's been a long time since I've had eggplants, so I was a kid, my mom used to make it.
Yeah, a lot of people like to kind of fry it a little bit, but yeah, if you roast it, that's even better.
It's better.
Better for you. Let me get some fresh water real quick.
You want me to get it for you?
That's okay. I'll be right back, you guys. Hold on.
Oh,
Let me just get it cut so we have filtered water.
Trying to cook it.
I like her.
She's wonderful.
Yeah, she cooks good.
She's kind,
That you got a boy. You know,
She's kind and knowledgeable and pleasant,
very knowledgeable.
you know, and enthusiastic.
it
Yeah.
makes a difference.
And it does. It really does.
Tasted one of the dishes last time. Yeah,
Mhm.
good stuff.
Alright, I'm gonna add the water in here. And saute this one more time, then I wanna talk a little bit more about basil.
Okay.
Alright, so in general, where's that salt? Making sure to use fresh herbs as much as you can. I mean, the dried herbs are still beneficial, especially because it's giving you flavor without adding the salt. So that's a huge benefit in itself, right? But using the fresh herbs, all the more nutrients, especially antioxidants. So our main foods that have the most amount of antioxidants are our herbs and our spices,
Mhm.
even more than the berries and the fruits. So using the fresh stuff, it just tastes a lot more vibrant, and it does give you more of those antioxidants. So with that being said, they're so easy to grow too, or even if you're not the best at growing things and keeping it all alive, like me, you can get the little mini plants from Trader Joe's, and those are easy to keep alive. They're easy to just keep watering. You can keep right in your windowsill of your kitchen, and they do really good. But if you can grow in your backyard, especially like rosemary, that turns into a beautiful bush. Even mint can turn into, so my mom does this one, not me, because I'm not such a gardener, but we have a beautiful bold-shaped mint bush.
Wow.
So especially any of those that get real thick, you can even shape them and make them look pretty and decorative in your backyard and eat them. But basil can grow very well if the bugs don't get to them. But that one is a little bit more sensitive. Doesn't have as how do you say, not as thick, and I feel like it is a little bit trickier to grow, but not impossible. So we're just gonna add a pinch of salt. It doesn't have a teaspoon, but I'm just gonna put a little bit. Okay. All right. So we did not soak these cashews. These are just dry, roasted, unsalted cashews in here. And we're going to blend it, but we put some water to help it blend. This is going to make a little bit of a thicker sauce, okay? So let's see, I might use this. In fact, I will put this in here to start. Okay. Side of that.
And so, Walmart.
Costco. Costco, you could probably get a better deal on it. You can get a refurbished one too for pretty good prices.
It's pretty quiet compared to
Are very universal, and they blend very well. Let me turn off the video. I think it's good. That's not too bad, right? We made our own pasta sauce. It sure is easy to get that Alfredo sauce right off the shelf. But you know, if you just have a few more minutes,
better.
this is It's very simple to do.
Smells
You
good.
can smell it, your body, your insides can smell it.
Where's my fork and my spoon?
And this isn't too hard to do. You really just have to get some of your nuts. You already have water, and then some of your lemon juice. If you don't have lemons, you could use vinegar as a substitute. Might be a little bit stronger. I think the substitute is less vinegar for the amount of lemon juice.
Okay.
But some things that you might have in your house anyways, right? Really, I guess one of the main ingredients you have to get from the grocery store would be the basil, unless you have it in your backyard. Well, and the nuts, yeah.
Do you grow
Do I grow?
vegetables and stuff?
Oh, I would love to. When I have more time, I'm gonna learn.
Yeah.
It is my weakness.
I'll help you do that part. I'll tell you.
You got that? Yeah, I need to come to your guys' classes. Yeah, oh, what is this for? My grandma, or not my grandpa and my mom are wonderful gardeners.
Yeah.
Really?
So I have a lot of great resources. It's just kind of like, when someone's so good at something that they do it all growing up. Like my mom, she
Right.
would do it all and well, when you ask why 100 times, I guess it's a little bit hard to teach.
Yeah, when you talk to them, they grow. It's like they
And
understand.
that's what my grandma does. So my grandma does the garden and she sings to the garden.
She sings?
She does. She has a song
Really?
for everything.
Is
I don't know if she's I don't know.
Opera.
I don't know if she's like an opera singer to be on stage, but she sings.
Does that improve the quality of what she does?
I think so. They say it does.
They say
So why not?
you're talking to your plants or singing to the
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And do you sing, Tony? Are you gonna start singing anymore? All right. So let me show you guys what this came out like. Oh, this is good. I just love the smell of basil. You can already smell it. Okay. So actually, before I show you, let me throw this pasta in there. Okay. Let's put the pasta in, and it's gonna go in for. Oh, that's what the ingredients. So we're gonna put the pasta in about 2 minutes before we take it out. We'll put the broccoli in.
Okay.
I didn't try this one. When I practiced this recipe, I put the broccoli in another dish. I was kind of scared.
Okay.
But the recipe says we can do it, and if you can do one pot with less dishes and less mess, then why not? So we will try it. So this pasta is going to go in for 7 minutes. Let me put the timer on. Okay. And then I'll show you real quick too. Actually, we're going to do, let's see, we're going to do 5 minutes. And then this, we're going to throw a lot of different things in here. Let me show you guys this real quick. I picked this up at Sprouts, and I thought this would be a great add-on for our pasta and for more nutrients and vitamins and plant foods. This is spaghetti squash. So you can see they dehydrated. Have you ever seen a spaghetti squash by yourself? I know, Karen, you cook with it, and you do, right? It's a big squash. It's a yellow one. It's kind of like an oval shape. I'll have to show you a picture. It's pretty big. You cut it in half, and you literally, this is the dehydrated spaghetti squash. Okay, so you can use a fresh vegetable, or you can get it dehydrated at Sprouts. But the fresh one, you literally just cut it in half, flip it over, so the inside is on the pan, and you can just, actually, you flip it over, yeah, you do, right?
Yeah.
I always have to look at the
In
recipe.
about
to
an
do
inch
it.
of water,
Yeah.
and I do it
make
in the
really
microwave, yeah.
steam. Oh, you put it in the microwave, that's even
I
easier.
steam it, I put it in there first.
Yeah.
I store it around.
Ah, okay,
Put
so
it
let
in
it,
there for about 5 minutes, probably 3 to 5. It's just soften the outside a little bit so I can't cut it in half.
oh, yeah, it's really hard.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Is it crispy or is it kind of?
No, it's gonna come out looking. spaghetti, when you pull it out of the,
Out of the water?
no,
No.
yeah, when you take it out, after you cut it in half and you cook it for maybe, going from 5 to 10 minutes actually,
Okay.
probably. And then just so it starts to pull loose from the sides, because it looks like pumpkin on the inside.
Uh-huh.
And then, with the fork, it will start flaking away and look like cooked spaghetti. I should have a picture of a cooked plate of it.
Yeah. Should have got a picture of it, because he's holding it up, right there, putting this to the PA. Yeah.
Sorry, now I'm losing track. We made our sauce.
Yep, and you.
We're going
You
to,
did the spaghetti.
we did the spaghetti.
And you have broccoli
We're getting
over there.
closer. We're gonna have the broccoli. Oh, okay. We're gonna add okay, so I sauteed the red bell pepper and the onions together. Now I'm gonna add some dried tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, and I'm gonna add some arugula into that and saute it together. And we're gonna mix it all together once our pasta's over. And that will be that.
How would we dry the tomatoes? Leave them out, or do we get one of those hydrators and dehydrators to dry them out?
Hold on, maybe they wanna come in. Hi guys, you wanna join? Hi there, I'm Sarah.
This is
How are
Mr.
you?
Parga. He's gonna be new in the program. Thank you, Sam.
Okay, well, you guys are welcome to join us. We're gonna have some food in about 20 minutes if you wanna join and eat.
I don't know,
No pressure, but you're welcome to.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's fine. More people, the better. Okay. All right, so we're making pasta. Well, second, but I don't want to burn anything. So,
Oh, I was gonna pull over here.
okay.
Let me get some more. Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
This is a spaghetti sauce. And I'm sorry, taking it away from the edge,
Uh-huh.
and it looks like this.
Oh.
And then you pull that out. and-
Okay.
Spoon or?
A fork.
The spoon.
And it starts coming up loose and then, somewhere in here, I'll have it.
I added everything to the pot. So we have the pasta, we have the spaghetti squash, and the broccoli. So that's gonna cook, and now we're gonna finish off our sauce here, and then we're gonna bring it all together. Okay? Okay, so let's do the finish of the sauce.
I'm hungry.
I know, me too.
Smelling it, it smells good.
It smells good.
And make you guys wait for a couple hours to finally eat. Okay, so let's see, we need 3 ounces of sun-dried tomatoes and then the arugula. So I'm gonna add that to this pan. Let me just get a spoon here. So let's see. The pasta and everything is cooking, put the lid on. And then
Excuse me.
okay. So this not arugula, these sun-dried tomatoes. I just got at Trader Joe's. Real simple. Oh, thank you, Glenn.
Recipes.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Now, Tony, do you work with spaghetti squash?
I don't cook.
Oh, you don't cook. This was, after it's done, you take the fork and you begin to pull it away from the sides and it looks like spaghetti. Yeah,
Spaghetti squash.
the yellow, vegetable she was talking about. Once you open it up and begin to flake it, pull it loose with a fork, it looks like that. And then you go ahead and put it in sauce or use something like this over. I heard it, and some people just like to butter it and eat it like this. Yeah. So, yes, all the fun of doing it from scratch.
No.
You cook a lot?
I cook a lot.
Okay, so this is the arugula I just put in here. Fun fact about arugula is it has a lot of water in it. 90%
Oh,
is
really?
water.
Okay.
And that makes sense why when you cook it, it shrivels up to nothing, right? Because it's all water in there. But also a great source of magnesium, which we were talking about how our bodies and the soil deplete and we just don't get enough. So this is a great source of that. Also has our vitamin K, same with our basil, has vitamin K. And our arugula, anything that's green, that green pigment is from chlorophyll.
Okay.
And chlorophyll has lots of great functions, but it really helps our liver. Really good for our liver. So
Kale is high in chlorophyll. Kale,
kale is high in what?
chlorophyll.
Oh yeah, lots of chlorophyll. And any of those green vegetables, especially the leafy ones. So, okay. I think everything is done except for our pasta. We got a couple more minutes on that. So, cool. We're almost finished on time. This is great. And you guys came time to try to finish, but that's great. Let me clear off the counter here so we can start setting up our dishes and mix it all together. So 1 moment. All right. And at the end, I'll show you how to do the almond milk. Okay?
Oh, okay.
But I gotta use this blender and I wanna make sure it's clean. So let me move this aside. So I put the spaghetti squash, the broccoli, everything literally in all one pot. It's looking not too bad. I was a little skeptical, but I think it's gonna come out good. And then we'll put that away. Okay. We'll drain it here. I'm trying to think if is there any other foods that we didn't talk about? Nutrients. Covered a lot, huh?
Yeah.
Really good.
So, remind me, what are your names? Yolanda. Yolanda?
Joel, pardon? Joel?
Noel.
Joel.
Joel.
Yeah.
Joel. Joel and Yolanda. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice to have you both. So I can explain to you when we're eating kind of what we did, but I have the timer going off now. So let's make these noodles off. Okay. So put that here. Okay. Okay. So do you guys want to see how it's all together?
Go up there?
Bring it. Don't touch it. Hot. No steam. Don't put your face right over it. Steam. But I put everything in there. The spaghetti squash, the broccoli, the pasta. All right, you can see, guys, I put it all in one pot. Nice and easy.
Can I get a picture of it?
Sure.
So later on, when you're really hungry, I can look at it.
I've never done this, but this sounds like a great idea. Let's dishes.
Just add the veggie to the pasta.
Yeah, add the veggie to the pasta.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna.
It even labeled itself food.
Oh, did it?
These smartphones are too smart sometimes.
Well, when I took the picture, it says food on it. That's the right.
Okay.
Yeah, way when I'm starting, you can still look at the pictures over. It's not.
Maybe you guys want to see it again?
So that's a spaghetti, that's.
So now I drained it.
That's, okay.
So you can see the chunks of the spaghetti squash, nice and tender. Oh, you see that? I'll have another hand to point. My biceps are so weak. This is a workout.
Well, I'll hold it for you. My hands are clean.
All right, so I drained it. You can see the chunks of the spaghetti squash. And everything, it came out real good, nice and tender. One pot pasta dish. Okay.
So the spaghetti squash, you just decided to add in, is that correct?
Yeah, I added it to my noodles and
Okay.
I added my broccoli too.
Can you freeze that to store it?
Ooh,
Is it possible or?
I think because there's so much, it's so hydrated, it has so much water that it might not freeze well, especially the spaghetti stuff. I don't know.
Maybe.
What do you think, Karen? Have you ever frozen pasta?
No.
Because it's only me, I don't have a lot of kids that would come over and eat it.
Yeah.
And if I did, they'd
Well,
want
so I did double the noodle recipe.
I see.
So you could just do one pot of noodles.
Cut things in half.
Now this, I just sauteed all the bell peppers and the onions, the arugula, the dried tomatoes. Dried, sun-dried tomatoes.
Yeah.
So they're
The dark
a little bit.
She
of
pointed
a
to
diff- Oh, yeah, this is the tomato.
There's food on it.
Oh, yeah.
That's the tomato.
jar.
Yeah, let me show you the jar.
Ah, I'm just trying.
Let me show you guys real quick. See, all of our sauteed vegetables, the arugula, sun-dried tomatoes, bell peppers. Now we're gonna add everything to this pot and then toss and turn, okay? Okay. So let me give you this. This is the sun-dried tomatoes I used. I got.
Okay, it was,
Huh?
I saw the jar over there, I thought, is that the
Oh,
same?
yeah, it's the same one.
Okay.
I just the lid. So this is from Trader Joe's. Yeah, so these are the sun-dried tomatoes. I want to show you to the pasta noodles that I got at Trader's.
Okay.
I mean, not Trader's, I'm sorry.
Sprouts.
They have at Sprouts and they also have them at Stater Brothers.
And they have these at Sprouts as well, because I have some.
Yes, yes, they do. And you can get these at other grocery stores.
I wonder where else.
Right?
And
Sun-dried tomatoes from Traders.
Les has a section back there in the kitchen
Oh,
where they
yeah.
got all kinds of organic.
Oh, okay,
Like
so
I
I
saw
haven't been to
artichoke.
Sprouts in a long time.
Yeah, I saw artichoke pasta that the senior citizen.
Oh, okay.
Give me a jar.
Let me show you guys. So this is the spaghetti squash. This is dehydrated. So the spaghetti squash is a vegetable. Yeah,
That's in
big
the-
vegetable.
Yes, como dicen,
Put that here.
the.
Okay. And these are the chickpea noodles.
Yo pienso que Cardenas Foods es posible.
Okay, these are great.
It smells good.
So this is pasta noodles, not made out of flour, not wheat flour. They're made out of chickpea flour, or garbanzo beans. So they took the beans and they grind them up into a flour, and it's so much better for us than the regular flour.
You don't have any bad things in there? You don't have any
Good
bad
question.
things?
So the Barella brand has just chickpea flour.
Oh, good, because I use that a lot.
The Bonza brand, Bonza has some gums and chickpea flour. I don't like that one as much because there's more of those ingredients.
Okay.
The Barella is the best brand for simple ingredients. So if you guys saw, I got the Barella brand. The Bonza brand has other ingredients, but the Barella is just chickpea flour. So it's nice. This is, more simple, more wholesome. There is a study, and I mean, you could do this study easily on 2 different people, but one person had wheat flour pasta, another had the chickpea flour pasta, and they both have diabetes. And the one that ate the regular pasta, their blood sugar spiked. Okay, there's not a lot of fiber, it's real starchy, it makes your sugars go up. Chickpea flour, though, when they ate the chickpea flour pasta, their blood sugars did not spike because there is 8 grams of fiber in one serving. That's a lot, and a lot of protein. So when you have the combination of protein and a lot of fiber, it takes longer for your your body to break down those foods. So the sugars in those foods that are breaking down, they don't break down as fast, and so they don't enter your blood as fast. So they just kind of trickle into your blood real slowly. So you have more stable blood sugars rather than a spike. So this is great if you like, yeah, if you like pasta and your doctor said no more starches, right? They will say that, no more pasta. We'll say, I can have pasta, doctor. Chickpea flours. Chickpea pasta. Much, much better. All right, let's put everything together now. Grand finale.
You need a plate?
What is it called?
Oh, yeah, not yet. Hold on.
Pasta, it was just,
So you're gonna put oil in there now?
let's see, Tony.
So yeah, I'm just going
The chickpea
let's see.
pasta.
Okay, thank
Uh-huh.
you, thank you.
And, Barilla was the
I will put
brand,
oil on
the
this.
BRILLA,
Barilla.
that particular pasta brand. Was the healthiest.
Double this. Try it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, hold on. I doubled the pasta, but I didn't double everything else.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm just trying to I'm gonna save some of the noodles.
Yeah, right, and add, broccoli or something to it later.
Yeah. Gonna get all the broccoli out. The broccoli, it's pretty good. It cooks well.
It looks like it, the color of it is good.
Yeah. Gonna get all the spaghetti.
Is it
sauce.
brown?
It's not brown, it's sauteed, but
The broccoli?
the broccoli is nice and green.
Oh, I'm a man, we like our stuff burnt.
Yeah, I didn't saute it.
Oh, we know it's cooked.
Oh, darn it. Okay, when you guys did this recipe at home, I forgot. But you could take a little bit of the leftover water from the pasta and add it to your sauce.
Sauce, okay.
That way it
It's
just,
got the flavors and the
exactly.
vitamins, yeah.
I forgot, but we'll just add some fresh olive oil.
That's what you're trying to remember.
We got a better idea. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add this pesto sauce in with everything else. We're just gonna toss this pasta all together.
Wow.
And I wanna say that this isn't a bad idea to add this olive oil on at the end, because again, anytime you add things fresh with no heat, you're gonna get more nutrients. When you heat things, your vitamin C, your antioxidants, they will start to die. So if you can put fresh olive oil on as well, it has more of those antioxidants and polyphenols in it, because it never touched the heat. So we'll put this on at the end. We'll drizzle on. I think the Italians, they use it to cook with, but they also literally, they put it on everything at the end.
Yes.
And I think that's where a lot of the benefits are coming from with that olive oil. So, all right.
Looks good, huh?
Yeah.
All right, one pot dish. No, it's not quite, but at the end it's gonna look like that. Let's see. My other. Oh, here it is. Okay. Let's toss it all together. Now you could also throw in more fresh chickpeas into this if you want. If you want more of like another grainy feel to it.
You can do what, I'm sorry?
You can add fresh chickpeas
Oh,
as well.
fresh ones, okay.
Or white beans, or you could put fresh roasted pine nuts. I think pine nuts would taste really good on this and give it a little bit of crunch. I have some figs that I thought would be a good add-on as well. We're gonna throw some figs in here.
Really?
So
Yeah, yeah, those.
I like to throw my fruit on everything because it's a little bit of that sweetness. It just adds a touch of it. You guys let me know if you like it as well. We are almost there.
Y pienso si tienes niños. Que puedes poner más frijoles.
So, let me put this in a dish.
Si la papa por.
I'm gonna put the lid on and let it get warm, because I think it kind of cooled off, and I'm gonna show you the almond milk,
Okay.
and then we'll eat. Okay, and then we'll finally eat. So let me get this out. How are you guys doing? You're holding up? You're still holding up? Okay. I got it all testing a while.
Now, the big batch of basil that you have, which is fresh basil.
Fresh basil. Yeah. I threw it away in the container, but I got it from Trader Joe's. They have the same package.
Okay.
Let me put this lid on. All right, one moment. Cleaning time. What we'll do to make sure we get every little part of this out, we'll put this in the blender with some soap.
Oh, okay.
We'll really make sure it's squeaks clean. Okay. So put that there. And I'll do the lid.
Go ahead, smells good.
Oh, man.
All right. Okay. Lid. All right, who wants to learn how to clean their machine? Okay, so don't overfill it with hot water or it will explode on you. So I'm gonna put my hand over the spout because you're in the splash zone, Tony. Okay, real gentle.
So what do you put in there, just water? or-
Just water and soap.
Oh,
Make sure that we don't have any pesto in our almond milk.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, maybe I should have had the lid on top. I'm so sorry. I'm not gonna try this again.
Can you not start slow speed?
I did.
You did?
Oh, and I was on variable.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Oh, my goodness.
I don't know if I want to, do I want to try again? What did I do wrong?
Leave the variable
Is it-
on,
is it
and
Yeah.
then use the other side.
All right, hold on, I'm gonna turn it up. I put it on the right
Want
switch.
me to hold it down while you start?
Oh, it's not working. Yeah, I think it is.
And cut example.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, goodness, okay. Well, I kind of warned you, but I wasn't expecting it to do that, actually. You always are prepared for the unexpected, but I wasn't expecting
Just
it.
start now.
I need a mop, don't I? Okay, hold on, it didn't. I think I have to get the,
Do you have to lift the container
Yeah,
and get the
probably.
water off the base?
in here.
Yeah, that's not.
Okay. All right, guys, don't do this at home.
Actually, good, so you learn.
Yeah, make sure all your settings are on low. I thought they were, but it was like in between.
So you, that's variable speed by lever and not by button. huh?
Yeah, so the Vitamix really doesn't have a lot of knobs
No.
to it. It's just a couple. Which is nice because you get to control it more, but all around. Okay, let me get the ground. I know, it's a lot. Well, you'll learn how to make a soap splash.
Do you have a mop? Because
There's no mop,
I
I
have
know.
one mop, because that's what I do.
I know. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Or turn on, knock something off when I'm trying to reach for something.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking that last time I had the cooking class, it was nice to have a mop, just to quickly, or a broom at least, to kind of get.
Yeah.
Well, I guess a little less cleaning for later. Okay. So, did I get any in the front?
Just a couple drops.
Just a couple drops, not a lot.
No, seriously.
Okay.
Just a couple drops.
So let's try this again. I'll try plugging it in. Like, I didn't want to clean up too much in case it happens again. But I don't think it will. I don't think it will. But then I wasn't thinking it would last time either. Okay. I have my lid here. Go over here and here. Okay, low, low, low. Okay, ready? Ready. Ah. Yeah, not over yet. I haven't tried it. Hold it.
I'm so smart.
I don't know about that. Woo. Okay, so just to get some of the, everything seeps at the bottom, and I don't want to have that pesto flavor in the almond milk. So, all right. So my favorite part about soapy water is it just coats the sink real nice and kind of cleans it. Or if you have any bowls you need to soak, pour that soapy water right on top. I'm trying to think, is there anything? Oh, I'll put it in here. Well, actually, soak this. Okay. And I get all the soap out. Okay. But
Okay,
how about I serve you guys and I will show you how to do the almond milk? What you guys eat. Does that sound good?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
enjoy it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if you guys need to, you want to wash your hands or you want to use the bathroom, they're right there. It's right there. That you're dry. Okay. Thank you now. Okay. Let me get the serving bowl. And then we'll pray and then we'll eat. All right.
All right.
Okay, move this out of the way. I don't want this now. So the olive oil that I used, I do the extra virgin olive oil because
It tastes good.
it tastes better. It has more, it's fresher. If you do the virgin, just the virgin, it's not extra virgin, it's virgin. Then it's kind of like, the extra virgin is the first drippings when they press it. And this also says cold press because there's different machines they can use to press it. And again, if you use heat pressing it, you're gonna kill all those antioxidants that we want. That's why we're having the olive oil. It kills those off. So if we use fresh, cold press, I didn't mean to say fresh. We use cold press, extra virgin. We're gonna get the first drippings when they press it, and it's not, all those are gonna be preserved, all those nutrients. So this is great. I mean, all of this goes well with pretty much everything. It's very, very good. Okay. Put these things in the back.
I have some of this in very much on hand sanitizer. That's all.
Oh, thanks, Karen. Oh, great. Oh, it's so easy out today.
I see.
Yeah. Do you have the windows up over there? You can see outside. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good view, but then you start to see how the air quality is. Okay. All right. So probably bowls will be better, huh? Bowls.
Yes.
Bowls. probably a pork,
I think the pork.
because you can skip the noodles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, yeah, 5. Oh, that's all right there. Okay. I got one fork for y'all to share. This one. Okay. I'm gonna do some napkins. I need to get some real napkins. Sorry. It's not on the list, I keep forgetting.
Paper towels.
Yeah. Paper towels. Here you go. All right. We'll wait for Glenn. Is he in the bathroom or is he talking with the talker? I don't know. I think he's still making the talker. Okay, well, let's pray over our food and then I'll serve you guys, okay? All right. Thank you so much, Heavenly Father, for bringing everyone here, Lord, safely. And thank you so much for this time to cook and have fun with all these foods that you've grown and provided for us and made all the nutrients beautifully designed for our bodies, Father. Would you nourish this food to our bodies, give us energy, give us health, and protect us from everything going on in the world, and just give us strength and energy for this day. In your name, amen.
Amen.
All right, you made it just in time. All right. So let me show you the final piece. You guys want to, whoa, don't do that. Okay. Let me toss it one more time. You guys want to take a picture of it? I kind of want to take a picture. It looks so good.
I do, it looks beautiful.
Yeah. You guys want to take a picture of it?
Yeah, send it there.
Oh. Like, I'm smiling, but you can't see it.
Hold on, Zoom.
You want to put it flat? Is that better?
No, that's all right. You will. Do it so you label it too.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
What a smart.
Hey,
phone.
Zoom, how you doing?
Me? You guys will have to send me photos. I don't know where my phone is.
We are.
Yeah, I have no idea. All right, let's see. Okay.
Yeah, I like to hear those words.
So, did you think it was ever gonna come?
But those
Let me
are,
turn down the field. You guys see this?
I'm fine.
Turn it down.
that's among my favorite phrases, payday and let's see.
Yeah. And the spaghetti squash didn't pull apart as well. It cooked well enough, but it kind of stayed in clumps.
Oh, get it. So it's
Yeah.
just, if we're gonna do it, to use fresh,
Oh yeah, if you can do fresh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But if you want to store some in your pantry,
Yeah.
it's a great.
it comes in handy.
It comes in handy, yeah. Now, let's let me get these all ready. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna put you guys want to add more sauce to it? You can, it's more olive oil, right? So we're gonna put it on top.
Tell us to do it, it's good.
Okay, yeah, let me know, I think it's gonna taste good. Okay. A little bit of. Wow.
Smells good, huh?
Yeah.
So, I do have more if you guys want more.
So what would you serve with that, like French bread or?
Yeah, I mean, if you do want to bring in the bread, you certainly can because we didn't use it for the noodles, but I would say eat more in a larger bowl and add some more beans or something to it to get even more. But we're gonna have a lemon bar, so I'm giving you guys small portions. But if you're at home, I'd have a giant bowl because it's balanced and everything it has. You could have a soup on the side. You wanted to do like a tomato vegetable soup or tomato bisque. You give me something Italian. But yeah, you could bring out the bread and, get the edges at the end. Because that's what's nice when you have, especially Americans, how we eat pasta, we do the noodles and then we do the bread and then we have more starches. And when you do one less starch, it gives you room to add another somewhere else. But you don't want to keep adding starch upon starch upon starch, because that's just not good for our blood sugars, whether you're diabetic or not. So, okay. Oh yeah, olive oil. Olive oil. And let me get the pesto sauce.
You better stick in them.
Have a little bit, but I have more, so don't feel bad for using it all, okay? I can always get more sauce that I made.
Su cuerpo lo quema más fácil, más rápido, porque los otros tienen productos que ponen ahí para que haya más sabor.
For my bowl, just very lean.
Y no puso.
Okay, you don't have to have any if you want any.
Yeah, no.
I won't put any. Does everyone want olive oil?
I love olive oil. Sweetie there.
Okay.
Isn't that funny how Popeye's characters are named after vegetables, sweet pea?
Oh,
olive oil.
You have a little
Thank
bit
you.
more. This is,
Yeah,
do you want any or do you want a little? This is yours, here. So I'll separate it now. So you can have more pesto,
Yeah,
okay? Actually, this will be yours. Let me get a spoon for the pesto. This. Okay, so this is here. Let me put the lid on this. So you guys come up and get your dish. And then we can kind of put a circle around the chairs too.
Okay.
So we can,
This sauce is going in.
yeah, do you want more? I mixed a little bit already.
This looks so good.
And you can even, garnish with some more,
thank you, thank you.
does everyone want a little bit more? I think I could use it.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
Here, bring it right over. Good? Okay, here's the fork here. You're welcome. It's not one of the ones. Let's see. One more?
Ooh,
You're welcome.
Can you mix avocados in there?
Yeah. You could probably put in the sauce or put it fresh in a pot. Sounds good. Yeah, side.
You got enough for you?
Yeah, and again, I have more too. So you guys want more?
Thank you.
Take your time.
You okay? Oh, yeah, thank you.
I can pass it.
Yeah. Bring it in.
Okay.
Okay. So you guys,
thank you for
Julia, let me show you. Thank you. Julia, this is what it came out like. Can you see it? Good? You have to try it now at home. Yes, I would. You have to come. You have to come in person sometime. Yeah, okay, so.
Hey man, this is good stuff, Maynard. Mmm, good.
Don't rub it in, Glenn. All right. One last thing while you guys are eating. Really, I'm going to show you and you guys how to make almond milk. It's so easy to do. You could do it faster than you were to go to the grocery store and back. Okay. Obviously, it's easy once you're there, but almond milk, usually when we get at the grocery store, they add so many extra stuff to it
Mhm.
that it's taking something healthy and then all when you add all these things in these gums, which is really hard to stay away from, like our acacia gum, agar gum. Sometimes the almond milk will have carrageenan, am I saying that right? It's
Mhm.
seaweed, but that's been shown to cause some problems in the stomach. So yeah, it's from seaweed, which seems whole, but it's been shown to cause other problems. Like I know for people that have the inflammatory disorder like I have, it's been shown to cause a flare up, like